What the hell did I title this? I think I titled it Drunk Stream. Oh, yeah, Super Drunk Night with CCDV. Well, it was supposed to be super. Apparently, I dropped an R at the end of Suppe. But it is supposed to be a super drunk stream with Mr. CCDV. You guys are welcome, of course. Naturally, I put the link out there in uh, what you call it, Discord land. People can join on the panel if they want to. Here we go. I'm going to link to the panel right there. There you go. So y'all can join me if you want to. If you don't want to, it's totally understandable because I am drunk. Or I are drunk is probably, oh, sorry, the better way to say it. I just wanted to see what would happen, if I did a, totally honest, complete, like, I'm totally drunk right now, don't believe anything I say, I'm crazy, drunk stream. I really wanted to see what would happen. And also, I'm not tired. I am tired, mind you. I'm exhausted. Holy crap, let me tell you about this. My mother has pulmonary arterial hypertension. All right, that's genetic. Now, mind you, of course, she has been smoking for 60 years. But smoking does not cause PAH. Pulmonary arterial hypertension is not caused by smoking. I just want to make that clear right now. Thank you for joining me, Wookie in Exile. I thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Here's the thing. So my mother has PAH, and so the the pulmonary arterial hardening makes it impossible for the blood oxygen barrier to go through. She is on currently um, 16 liters of oxygen per hour. And I have to pick her up out of bed. I have to put her in the wheelchair. I have to put her on the toilet. I have to get her up off the toilet, put her back in the wheelchair, get her back into the bedroom, that kind of thing. And so I really am. I'm just totally physically exhausted. And there are times when I need to be online with my friends so they can say, it's cool, man. You can be totally exhausted. And one of my friends is right here, Jedi Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm totally exhausted. I'm fucking wasted, man.
Hey,
I wait to drink until I get back here to my trailer, which I live in now. Yeah. I wait to get back here to my trailer to drink my whiskey and my wine So I'm drinking coffee and water all day long at my mom's house, and it's good. It's a good thing, obviously, naturally. You want someone who is a caregiver to be sober, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But
Good.
God, it hurts so much. It hurts so goddamn much. So when I get home, I slam a few beers and take several shots of whiskey and hope for the best. You know?
Hey, there's Loki. What's up, Loki?
I did not intend to go live tonight, man. What are you guys all doing up this early?
Well, if it's later from some, there's Mountains Elysium. Hey, Mountains
Oh,
Elysium.
yeah, fair enough. Well, again, I am not worried about trolls, so I put the StreamYard right there in the panel.
Yeah, I see that.
Anyone is welcome to come up. Runs with Phantoms is here. What's up, Runs with Phantoms?
Greetings.
Happy day to you, my friend.
You also.
Yes, you have not gone through life without having to clean your mother's crack. Right?
Oh, okay.
I had some pretty gnarly experiences helping my mother caretake for my ailing grandmother in her 90s a little while before she passed. Well, not a little while, probably about like a good 2.5 years before my grandma passed.
I want to remind you that I am super drunk.
Okay.
And this is my, it's kind of my venting time, right?
Totally.
But go ahead.
I hear that.
Go ahead with Runs with Phantoms. Go ahead and say what you were saying. I just wanted everyone out there to know that I'm not doing this as an overnight let's have fun thing. I'm doing this as like I'm angry. I'm like super duper angry right now, and I just needed some kind of excess, some kind of outlet for my anger. And
I hear that, brother.
The YouTube would be absolutely perfect for that.
Here.
Hey, just another red shirt.
Hey, Jedi Bill. Hello, Runs with Phantoms.
Hello. I only brought up my grandma. I'm sorry. I only brought up my grandma because I was only trying to relate to you, brother.
Oh,
because,
no, absolutely.
I understand the difficulties.
No, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely tell the story.
I have no interest in telling any long stories or anything, but, it's just, helping caretake for my sick grandma was pretty freaking gnarly at times. So, I know how kind of gross and gnarly and whatever, it can get. I get it, dude. And I really feel for you.
Wild.
I really,
yeah,
like I've had to pick up my grandma out of the bathtub after she fell off the toilet. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
It can get pretty gnarly.
Dude, I've totally been there. My mother, I'm sorry, not my grandmother, but my mother was literally sitting on the floor of the garage because she could not walk back to her bedroom. So I had to go get the wheelchair and lift her up and get her into the wheelchair and get her back into the bedroom. So yeah, absolutely. And that just happened today, man. Just today. I mean, I really was, I got 4 new tires for my car. Right? And so I was like, okay, I'll be there. But I thought to myself, I said, you should go by the house first. And so I did. And it is a good thing I did because she was sitting in the hallway, just sitting in the hallway. Just sitting in the hallway. Like she probably would have been sitting there for 2.5 hours waiting for me to get back from the place to get my my tires replaced. But I showed up and I made the coffee and I got her out into the garage so we could smoke a couple of cigarettes. And then I went off and got my tires replaced on my car. And she decided that she felt so good that she could walk out to the garage. She sat in my office chair in the garage. And then when she tried to get up and walk back into the house, she fell down. She fell down. And that's how I found her when I got back from getting the tires replaced for my car. I was so angry. I was so angry. But how can you be angry at your mom for wanting to be, an independent woman? How do you be angry at your mom for being an independent woman? You can't.
I think you have to internally acknowledge your feelings and then take the high road. It's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and that's why I got the wheelchair and brought it out to the garage and I picked her up and I put her in the wheelchair and moved her around. It's just really frustrating, And then my brother, when he had his stroke back in November, honestly, it was easier to pay the bills when he was still in a confined facility. Now that he's home, it's damn near impossible to pay the bills. He does not want to share his mail. He doesn't want to share his passwords. He doesn't want to share his accounts. So I don't know what bills to pay, but I have to pay them. Otherwise, we can't stay in the house. So I'm angry. I'm angry right now, for a lot of reasons.
It's perfectly understandable.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is understandable. It's just frustrating as hell. Uh, you know, when my dad was dying way back in 2001, it was, you know, it was something I could deal with because I was, 20 something myself. And so in 2001, it was like, okay, I can lift you up and put you in the car, and I can take you to your appointments, and I can lift you up and put you in the wheelchair and put you and take you into your appointments. I can lift you up and all that stuff, and I can't do any of that now. Not mind you, I have been lifting my mother up, but God forbid she ever loses the use of her legs. If she loses the use of her legs, I'm not sure I can pick her up. I'm really not sure that I can pick her up. So I'm really angry, I'm really frustrated, and I'm tired all the goddamn time now.
How's it
So
going, CCDV? Doesn't
this
sound like it's going very good, brother.
this was not meant to be a pain stream. But welcome, Loki.
How are you doing, bro?
This was not meant to be a pain stream. I just, the Insomniac soup ended, I thought, rather early. So,
No, I didn't run one tonight.
The
I
Lord
figured
of
I
Debauchery, Dionysus.
just
Sorry,
run one up and
wine
see,
and
you know,
he's taken over the direction of this stream. So it's like, you
how
know,
do
if
you guys think?
let the alcohol speak, brother. You know,
Do you
that's what the
guys
stream
no?
is
Well,
for.
that runs with phantoms. That's one of the things I was gonna ask. Do you guys think that I drink too much? Because apparently some people do.
I think circumstances have a big part to play in dictating how appropriate, like what amount of imbibement is appropriate. You know, I think that given your circumstances, it's pretty understandable if you just really need to get plastered from time to time. I don't blame you one bit, man.
And I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay.
Who's going to hold
Okay.
that against you, CC?
Yeah.
I really did. I started drinking very, very heavily when the VA stopped giving out narcotics. So I was on Percocet, 5 milligram Percocet for uh, 8 years.
Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah.
God. You can't stop taking, not after 8 years. Not after 8 years straight. That's insane. That's insane.
Dude,
I'm honestly kind of surprised you survived that, dude. How bad were the withdrawals?
oh, the withdrawals were awful. I mean, the withdrawals were just a nightmare.
Ugh.
But I have been clean for 6 years now.
Well done.
Yeah.
And so, although I drink a lot. And you guys know that. When I go overboard, you guys all point it out to me. And I really appreciate that. I really do. So when I drink whiskey and beer, and I just get a little bit out of hand, you guys let me know that I'm out of hand, and I appreciate that. And I'm willing to step down from any panel that I happen to be in, or end any stream that I'm streaming, right? But the fact of the matter is, the VA. Seriously, the VA should not have taken away my Percocet.
They started taking away everybody's pain medicine.
That's like reckless endangerment.
Yes, it is.
They took away my Percocet, and so I started drinking. And now my psychiatrist is saying, "Oh, you shouldn't drink so much." Okay, give me my Percocet back, and I won't drink so much.
Right. That's easy. There's a button for that.
But you can't do that because the VA is not allowed to do that. They're not
I know.
allowed, for some reason, to do the cost-benefit analysis
Well,
on that.
they're only doing like 10 pills at a time now anyway. You can't get any more than that. You can't get a month's supply or a week's supply. You can get like 10 pills and that's it.
Yeah, and you got to pee in a bucket every single time you get that refill. Yes. Yes, absolutely. You know what? I love you guys. Every single one of you out there that smokes marijuana. I love it that you can do
Hello,
that.
hi, that's me. Hi.
And you can do that, and it works for you. I'm really happy for you. I really am. I have tried 7 different variations of the cannabis.
Did they give you hashish? Did they give you hashish?
I have not tried hashish.
Okay,
I
that is
really
the most
don't like.
That is the most mind-bending shit. It is the resonance, the like melted down resin of it. I don't even know if we're allowed to talk about that on YouTube, but that is the
That's
most
actually pretty old
mind-bending
school.
shit.
It
And
is.
if that doesn't work, Mr. CCB, I don't know what the fuck will.
Yeah.
Honestly. I did that once.
I'm not sure that I want to. I'm not sure that I want to get a hookah just to find out if that works.
You don't have to
know,
get a
Oh,
hookah.
smoking
glass
weed out of a
pipe-
hookah is
A glass
amazing.
pipe is $4.
You don't have to get a hookah to smoke that. You don't have to get a hookah. All you need to do is get a regular metal pipe with a copper built the little
No,
copper
don't get metal. It'll get so hot, and that hit will burn the shit out of your throat. I kid you not.
See,
Well, then get a
there we
glass.
are, with
Gla-
only
glass
5 people
all
on
the way.
panel.
You can
and
go
we're
Always
already-
glass.
You can go glass. I'm old school, I guess. That's what I did in my 20s. I smoked hash once in my 20s, and that is some mind-altering, mind-bending shit. I've never been that.
I have a glass pipe.
Loki, you're
I have a
hardcore.
glass pipe, and I have tried everything.
I was smoking every day, all day then, and it still was like, oh
Mm.
my god. So that
Dude,
was
it is all
tried
about
everything that was supposed to be for nerve pain.
some
And
dank indicas.
Yes, Indicus is one of the first things I tried, and it does strip away the pain from the small fiber nerves. It really does.
Have you tried CBD?
Have you ever been? Okay, let me see if I can say this correctly. Have you ever been accosted by large fiber nerves that are unaffected by the green herb
yes.
because they affect the small fiber nerves? So have you ever been accosted by the large fiber nerves that come into play when the small fiber nerves go and relax?
After my motorcycle accident, yes. And the only thing that any kind of marijuana did for me was get me to go to sleep, and I was still hurting because I'd moan and groan in my sleep.
Yes.
The second I woke back up,
Exactly. And
Yes.
now I'm not saying
It's not
that
for everybody.
marijuana's not good for some people. It is good for some people. It
Some,
really is.
not everyone.
It ain't good.
well, you're
for
talking about a
me.
large amount of physical damage. A rotator cuff, torn rotator cuff, 2 torn biceps, 3 broken ribs, a broken collarbone, and a broken sternum, all at the same time.
Yeah. Well, all at the same time. That's
And they thought Tylenol 3. They thought Tylenol 3 was good. Seriously,
What have you-
Tylenol 3.
Oh, come on.
That's what they. I'm not shitting you. That's what they
Oh,
gave me.
I'm
was
sorry.
Tylenol 3.
You meant M&Ms, right?
Yeah, fucking M&Ms.
Yeah.
So
Sugar pills
believe it
and-
or not, my older stepkid was getting me fucking. My older stepdaughter was getting me fucking pot, and it like I said, it did enough to make me sleep, and that's all I did for about a year was fucking sleep on a couch. And it's
Hey,
you fuckers.
you
It's
know
people
what?
like you. It's people like you. It's people like you, Mr. CCDV, Jedi Bill. It's people like you fuckers that got me off that fucking couch. Which is why I will always be thankful and I will always return that favor.
Right on, baby. Thank you.
Yes.
But the whole point is it doesn't work for everybody.
Nope.
We know that. We know.
And basically, nothing works forever.
No.
Right. Nothing works forever. I tried to get my Percocet upgraded to 10 milligrams per tablet, and I was taking it properly 3 times a day. No add mixtures or anything like that. It was just 3 times a day. I was taking it 5 milligrams, and I asked the VA to bump it up to 10 milligrams so that I could continue to do handyman work or building a house or whatever the case may be. And they took me off of it completely. Completely. They took me off of it completely. Now, mind you, they stepped me down from 5 milligrams to 2.5 and then to nothing. Um, God, those withdrawals! I swear to you. How many of you guys have gone through withdrawals from opioids or alcohol or anything else like that?
I have.
Benzos.
Not me.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah, I was on benzos for 2 years, and
it's
I got off them cold turkey, and that shit sucked a little.
it is absolute torture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Mr.
I'm proud to say that I have been clean for 6 years. I'm proud to say that I've been clean for 6 years. If if my doctor offered me Percocet right now, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, give me the Percocet.
You know how
Mr.
crop rotation works?
Yeah, you plant corn for 6 years, and then the 7th year you're supposed to let it go fallow.
Yeah, so like I have this theory that with treatments, it might be good to try rotating your treatments. You know, like for instance, I would try for my sleep disorders bouncing around from heavy cannabis usage to light benzo usage to, taking some Benadryl or some NyQuil from time to time, and then getting off of that and bouncing back over to heavy cannabis, and just rotating your stuff, so that you don't rely on any one particular thing for so long that you end up hooked on it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm no doctor, and so like I could be full of shit, and I am not certified for giving out medical advice or any of that kind of thing. But just from my personal experience, that kind of seems to work.
Mr. CCDV, I want to throw something in here. My mom, back when I was in college, this goes back a long way because I'm old, worked for the head of the Department of Anesthesiology at University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, which was a teaching college.
New
And
Jersey.
yeah, UMD&J in Newark. Fucking A. And he was born and raised in China, and he was an acupuncture expert, and he had set up a long-term pain management clinic at UMD&J. And he was dealing with people who were in the position more or less that you are. You're in the position where your narcotic painkiller was cut off by the VA, and he was dealing with people where the narcotic painkiller didn't work anymore.
You would be absolutely shocked at the amount of holistic medicine treatment physicians were in the pain facility
Yeah.
in Phoenix, and I did it all. I really did.
You? Okay, let me ask you one question. Did you do acupuncture?
I did, yeah. The acupuncture, not just the needles all over the spine, but the little gold pins that got plucked in your ear, and
okay, because that was
yeah.
his. That was his. I want to try this as a solution to narcotic treatment, and I just wanted to throw that out. If you've already been there and done that, then okay, you've been there and done that.
And the one where they put the salt water in the water, or the salt in the water to make it absolutely neutral buoyant. What is that called?
Sensory deprivation tank.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, basically, it is a sensory deprivation tank, but it was intended to just be like a neutral buoyancy tank. at that time. And I've done that as well. And oh my God, my back hurts so much. So much. I've been a swimmer, right? Okay, so I was 14 years old and I joined the water polo team in high school. I know how to swim, baby. I know how
Oh,
to
yeah.
swim, right? I was third place recipient of the 4-man relay in California State, CIF. So, yeah, we only got third place, but yeah, there were like 18 high schools there. So, yeah, we got third place. Wink, wink. That's nudge. Know what I mean? We were a really good swim team. So I know how to swim. I know how to play water polo. As a matter of fact, on my 4th deployment in well, once we finally left Iraq and went to Qatar, uh, I there were 2 collegiate water polo players, and I had to teach a team of 5 guys who have never played water polo before, and I had to teach them how to play water polo, and I did. I mean, I did obviously, but we still got our ass kicked like 6-2. I made the 2 goals, by the way, for my team.
Nice.
I don't think those guys were expecting anyone to actually know what water polo is, A, and B, let alone actually be able to train a team to do water polo. So the fact that we only lost 6-2 was actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But now it's like, walk around the block and God damn, I hope I get home. I really do. I hope I get home. Because that is a long fucking block. And I'm goddamn tired right now.
Random Menace asks if he could listen sober. I think you can, Random Menace.
No, Wookie in Exile. I've been shaving my legs for years. That is so not true. I literally don't have hair above where my socks or boots were when I was in the army. So, the army boots came up to this point. Just guess a point between your knees and your calves, right? So I have a little bit of hair above my knees, but everything from my knees down, completely bald. Completely bald. And not because I shaved them, Wookie. Not because I shaved them. I did not ever intend to shave my legs, even when I was racing in swimming in high school. I did not shave my legs. But yeah, that's part of losing the small fiber nerves. So you lose the small fiber nerves and hair falls out. It happens. It's just one of the symptoms you got to live with this fucking disease. I hate this disease. I really do. But yeah, so there we're at. Yeah. Underwater rugby. Underwater rugby would be awesome. I would love to see that.
That would definitely be interesting.
how how can you pass the ball from one guy to another? Just hope it goes through the water. That's fantastic, man. Underwater rugby. Holy shit, I've never heard that before. Normally people say, how do you keep the horses from drowning? God damn it. Do you know what polo is?
Actually, yeah, the Mountains of Elysium asked that question. I said they train the horses to hold their breath.
That makes sense. Yeah, I suppose. Well, the horse I rode didn't actually last that long. Maybe not that well trained of a horse. Seriously, it's 100-meter pool. Okay, so you're talking about a football field plus the 2 end zones. Okay, you're talking about a football field plus the 2 end zones. That's 100-meter tank, right? And you swim back and forth constantly through the entire game. I mean, you are swimming. You're punching your hands into the water, and you're getting back and forth across the field. The very first water polo game I played, I swam 2 laps, and I could not get out of the pool. Someone had to help me out of the pool. That's how exhausted I was after 2 laps in my first water polo game. So you want to talk about water polo players? I can tell you about water polo players. They can drink more than anyone else I've ever met. And if you've ever held your hands above your head and used your legs to kick yourself up to your waist and just stayed there for 5 minutes just because, I mean, obviously we were holding a 5-pound lead weight when we were doing it, but I mean, I'm just saying anyone who can lift themselves up and just use your legs to kick yourself and keep yourself up there with a 5-pound lead weight. You know what? Awesome. That's fantastic. But I can guarantee you that 98% of the people of this planet cannot do that.
Well, I know I've never been able to. And I had to tread water for a certain amount of time for a swimming test once at a swim club my family belonged to. But the idea of, without using my arms to tread water, holding myself more than armpit high out of the water with my legs is just, yeah, right. You're just shitting me, aren't you?
No, it's true. Yeah, the egg beater kick is actually a thing. Yeah. And if
Yeah,
you train
I know.
yourself to do it,
Yeah.
You will be able to do it. It's just
it's just
it's
just sort of like
how to train themselves to do it.
It's sort of like running up Mount Everest for 5 minutes.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And I've done something similar to that too.
You're a crazier man than I, Gunga Din.
Oh no, the Manitou Incline in Colorado Springs. It used to be a cog railroad line, so they would grab a cog and pull through, and the locomotive would go forward, and then they would, drop the cog and put the arm forward and keep cogging all the way up the slope. Well, that was dismantled, 50 years ago, something like that. But the railroad ties are still mostly in place. And so if you want a place to run up a mountain, run up the mountain at the Manitou Incline. Holy crap. You are going to die when you run up the Manitou Incline.
No, thank you.
It is absolutely horrible. We ran 5 miles longer to go down the mountain because we had to take switchbacks to get down the mountain. We ran 5 miles longer to get down the mountain back to the vans, and it felt better than running up the Manitou Incline.
I once almost died on a mountain.
No.
Oh, that kitty's
Kitty?
pissed.
Yeah.
Kitty.
Yeah. Yes.
Guys,
Hey, Owen.
I'm gonna get like a couple hours before I go live. CCDV, brother. You need anything? Let me know, man. Everything that happened last couple months. My mom, brother, I'm here. We're all here for you. If you need anything, say the word.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, brother.
I really do.
Take care, guys.
I'll see you later, man. Bill, what do you got coming up, man? Advertise your stream, because I need to go to the bathroom and get another beer. So I'm going to mute myself. You tell everybody about your 1 year anniversary. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to tell?
3, 2, 1, start.
I plan on having a 1 year anniversary on Saturday, May the 8th. And we're going to be so 1 year anniversary / fundraiser for me to get some assistance on some things I need. I hope everybody will come and enjoy and have a good time and watch me eat a lot of hot stuff and maybe some bugs. It'll be a good bugs.
Bugs.
Yeah, bugs. I don't know. It will be a crazy time. Crazy fun time. Should be highly entertaining. I hope I can get a lot of folks. I might do a soup tomorrow night. Other than that, I'll be advertising, and I'll probably make a video for it and everything else. Oh, he would.
We lost someone.
Yeah, we lost Mr. CCTV.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't this his stream? What happens if the host disappears?
Oh, he might. If he doesn't come back, we can all just leave and. The stream should shut down in theory. I don't know. I don't know if it will stay on if we all leave. But I've been told that that's what will happen. The host isn't here. So how's everybody doing out there? It's funny. He messaged me saying he might going to stream at like 11:33, and then like it was like a little after midnight when I saw that he was on, and I jumped on this. I jumped on the stream here, and well, here we are. Hey, the Random Menace. What's happening in Slovakia? Is it having a good day? All right.
They're right by Ukraine, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
And Ukraine's situation's like about to pop over there, yeah?
Yeah, a bit.
What's
You never
going?
know.
Wait, what's going down?
Oh, the Russians are getting sporty again, I think, in Ukraine.
Oh,
Some Russian diplomat all like, war is inevitable.
That's not good.
No.
No, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty safe bet that those troops being withdrawn from Afghanistan are probably just going to be sent somewhere else here within the next few months. South China Sea or the freaking North Pole.
Random says it's just a power play from Putin. They are doing some military circus at the borders.
Yeah, it's a test. And it's not a test of the Ukrainians.
And you were in the NATO anyway? What does that mean?
NATO, North American Treaty Organization.
Okay. That's such good randomness. How was the subscription? No content, and what you should be up to like 150 by now, right? On here. Yeah, that's it's good. I feel for Mr. CV and taking care of his mom, man.
Yeah, it takes an awfully big heart to commit to that kind of responsibility.
Right, and it's we're just coming into the really, really hot time of the year, and where he's at, and yeah, he wants to go back to his mountain town and his house. And I don't blame him because it gets too damn hot. I mean, where you have 108 every day by like 8 a.m. It's like 105, 4 or 5.
Yep.
Now, I lived in Arizona 3 years, and I'm good if I never go back.
Yeah, blame you.
I'm still trying to.
I have the blood of Northmen in me, and I'm not meant for this kind of desert climate. I don't even know why the hell I'm still in SoCal. Even this kind of semi-Mediterranean, semi-coastal-ish climate is still too hot. I'm done with it. And the politics out here are ridiculous too. I want out.
Yeah. I lived 35 years in Massachusetts and 2 years now in Central Texas. And Central Texas still makes me like, I want to find the guy that invented air conditioning and buy him a beer.
Really? Right? Oh God, you would absolutely die without
Oh God, yes.
AC here in the Southwest Arizona.
You wouldn't do very well in Central or South Texas without it either.
You know, I'm
Oy.
suspicious that what with how incredibly cold Texas got over the winter, and you know, with all the people that kind of froze out there,
Yep.
like imagine how freaking hot and dry it might get this summer, and people are going to be like dying over not having ACs as opposed to not having functional heaters. It's like worst of both worlds there.
Well, the thing that screwed Texas during the big freeze was that natural gas pipelines froze. And that shut down natural gas power stations, which were the backup for the windmills and the solar farms. So the reason the grid teetered on the edge was because the snow and ice shut down the windmills and the solar panels, which is normally like, okay, the other parts of the grid have to pick up the slack. Except they didn't winterize all of the gas pipelines and connections and so on. And I'm like, well, if that's your last line of defense for the whole electrical grid, I don't care how often it can get that cold in Texas. You better figure out a way to do that. Because
Gotta
we,
plan
apparently,
contingencies.
yeah, well, we were apparently within of if they hadn't made the adjustments they did, which is part of the reason so many people lost power because they shut them off they basically shut a whole bunch of people off from electricity to save the grid because they didn't have enough generating capacity, so they had to reduce the demand. And the fastest way to reduce demand to match the generating capacity they had was to shut off whole sections of the grid. If they'd had more generating capacity, we would not have lost as much power in as many places for as long as we did. And that comes down to winterization of windmills, winterization of gas pipelines, and whatever else they forgot to pay attention to.
Right.
It was a triumph. Well, not a triumph. It was a disaster of optimism, is what it was. The optimism didn't pan out this past winter, and it got weird. I mean, we bailed out of our house to a hotel for 3 days, and I was able to continue to work because the hotel still had power. My house didn't. And after 2 days, my wife and her dad drove back out to the house and came back to the hotel and said, "We have power in the house. It's at 72 degrees." Like, great, we're out of here tomorrow. But we were gone for 3. I mean, we left the house when it got below 50 degrees inside the house. And I know at least one person in my town put on to a Facebook group for the town that he had just evacuated his house for his pickup truck because his house was too cold to stay in. And that was about 3 days before the whole town got power back. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, by New England standards, if the power grid had gone down like that, the only people who would have been going, "Oh, this isn't bad," would have been the people who had large generators. A Honda was not going to cut it.
What are you doing, kitty cat? Oh boy. Oh no, Sapphire's up on the top shelf on my desk, and things could come crashing down. Okay, good. She hopped down another way.
does it look like CCDV is going to come back?
I don't know.
Nobody has his personal contact, do they? Like, there's no way to get in touch with him. See if he's okay.
I can.
I hope he's okay. Because he logged out, like, out of nowhere. Wait, did you say I had to go take a leak? I think I gotta go take a leak, and I'm just projecting myself onto him.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, that doesn't sound good in that context.
Well,
at
maybe it's a Jalojo. So maybe it's been holding for a long time.
God, what if he's passing a stone? Oh,
Be not good. I got contact with him, but see if he'll message me back.
cool. So I noticed Wookiee in Exile in the chat said that he's a desert Viking, and I'd really like to know what his trick is for not heat stroking every single hot season.
Okay, he's working on his Wi-Fi connection. Should be back in a minute.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Although I'm going to tell you, Bill,
Stay inside.
Yeah. What?
Stay in air conditioning. Yes. That is the solution. It's either that or lie in a tub of cold water until you turn into a human prune. Yeah, I'm not gonna be around much longer, I can tell you that. I gotta get up for planning meetings tomorrow. Although it is at least an early day, so that's good.
I have some good news. I was 2 months ago I was weighing about 432, and well, I'm at 398 right now. So
Hey, that's
progress.
awesome.
yeah, I know.
Progress.
Yes.
Mazel tov.
L'chaim.
Yeah,
Nazdrovia.
gonna keep it going.
Well, here, he
Keep
said
it going.
L'chaim, which means I need to take a hit to that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
no,
the
that's
Jew
great,
here.
Bill. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. If I could lose 40 pounds, I'd be at fighting weight.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to buy all new jeans.
Just gonna keep it going and exercise more.
Yep.
Get on walks. So, but it's really hot. So, any walking I'm gonna be doing is it gonna be early morning to in the evening, but even in the evening it don't cool off.
No,
So-
it's still hot. Yeah, it's the same here. The only advice, I mean, and I'm actually looking in, I'm actually starting to consider buying one, is a treadmill.
Yeah.
Where I can put my Kindle or a book or something on, mount it, and be able to, read. Because I used to read a book while I walked home from school. So I'm like, if I can read, I'll walk. I'll just read, and I'm actually starting to think about. I need to find a place in the house where I can stick a treadmill.
Yeah, Mountains Elysium. That would be wonderful. Which is really weird because right when I went in the hospital, I was like at 319 and currently at 317 right now in the sub count. So, but
Well,
yeah,
that's-
if I could get down to that, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be so,
Yeah. Except, I mean, the reason you drop 2 subs is almost certainly because YouTube has screwed up its algorithm.
Yeah.
I mean, big time. You know how likes have been disappearing?
I haven't been noticing that.
You haven't? Well, I know I've been on a bunch of sites, and I wrench for a bunch. I've been on a bunch of sites where I've literally sat there and watched every second 6 to 10 likes disappear. Every second. It just starts dropping. And I'm like, what the? Are 6 to 10 people deciding not to like this video or this stream? Yeah, not likely. Apparently, somebody finally got through to a YouTube representative that wasn't towing, the propaganda line, and they admitted, yeah, there's a problem, and yeah, they're working on it. Okay, that's nice. Any idea when they'll figure it out? No. Okay. But yeah, it's apparently, well, here's the one for people who are almost monetized. Not only have subscribers been removed and likes been removed, but watch hours have been deducted. So if you're knocking on the door of being monetized with subscriber count and watch hours, and you start seeing both of those start dropping at the same time, people can go and undo a like, but they can't undo that they watched a video or a stream or whatever.
Right.
So for watch hours to be dropping on a channel is not a user choice, a consumer choice, a viewer choice. That is a program issue at YouTube. And apparently they finally fessed up to it.
Oh, that's good.
Well, yeah. Now the question is, how long will it take them to fix it?
Yeah.
But yeah, they apparently when it first started, people started complaining about it. YouTube came out with some sort of nonsense. Oh well, we've determined that there are bots creating fake likes, so we're removing them. It's like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
That's BS.
Right.
Yeah.
Stupid. Real stupid.
Yep. So, and I mean, yeah, the people who are most upset are small YouTubers who are literally watching likes on their videos for more or less disappear, and people who are knocking on the door of being monetized, going, I only need 37 subscribers and 57 watch hours, and I can apply for monetization.
Well.
And they're going, it's going in the wrong direction. But yeah, it's been crazy the last couple of weeks, but certainly the last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure before that. I'm not sure how long it's been going on. I know for the last week it's been going on. And yeah, it's significant.
Yeah.
For some channels, it's been very significant.
Right.
I mean, I watched FNT drop 500 likes in a minute or two. So,
who's that? Who's that?
That's Gary Nerdrotic Friday Night Nights. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at 8,000 people watching, 2,000 or 3,000 likes, and you lose 500 of them in a few minutes. It's like, what? Yeah. That's not kosher. But no, it's just it's I don't know I don't know whether YouTube tried to do something cute and it backfired on them, or whether they tried to do something else and they created a bug. Having spent my whole career in software, either of those is a possible explanation.
So there is ghost in the machine?
Oh, hell yes. Oh, yeah. There are so many applications today that are so complicated that nobody knows what everything does. Absolutely.
Yeah. Damn algorithm and bugs in the system. Anybody going to be watching the new movie Mortal Kombat on Friday?
Sorry, no.
It's not for everybody. I know
What streaming service is it on?
HBO Max.
All right, I might check it out. Is it true that there's not going to be a Johnny Cage?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I mean, I seen the previews and they look pretty good at it, but I don't know if Johnny Cage is in it or not.
I hope they have the original theme song in it.
That I don't know.
You know that sick one? It goes like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. Yeah. A few minutes ago, Nina Green was asking for the link.
Yeah. She's in the other room on the other side of my wall. I forgot to tell her that he's not here. Damn that.
So, what?
Mr. CCDV having issues with the mobile Wi-Fi.
Man, if he was angry before, I can just imagine him now.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is why we need a co-host to be able to control things. That way I could bring people in, I can highlight comments. This is why if you're a YouTuber and you do live streams, we make sure when you finish your stream, put in there needs to be a co-host position that has full control of the broadcast studio, because this is where it helps, because we can shut it down and everything, and or we could bring up people. This is why we need that control. It's like, son of a bitch.
Is that YouTube or the underlying StreamYard?
Was StreamYard. I StreamYard's always ask a question, but yeah, it's definitely with StreamYard.
Okay.
And, they definitely need to get on the ball with that. I mean, I've been asking for almost a year for those controls, and that's one thing they haven't done. I haven't seen much improvement. They were doing improvement seemed like every month, and they kind of halted. I remember I was one of the lucky ones who was streaming the first night that we could have 10 people on.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. I was like, I hadn't known because I hadn't read any of my emails. I'm really bad at not getting to my emails and even my phone messages. I don't want to check them, and it's like, people get angry at me for that. Yeah.
Well, I asked that because I know there's one thing I would love to see YouTube add to chats for the mods is one of the options that I'd love to see added to the pop-up menu for a comment when a mod goes to look at the comment and consider what to do with it is flag that commenter, that account, so that every time that person comments after that, it changes its color to something unique amongst all the colors on the screen. So if you're watching somebody you think is liable to be a problem as a mod, you can just flag them, and then every mod in the chat can see them come up with this special, this person's a potential problem color. And I'm like, that would be a godsend, because you got 4 or 5, 6, 7 mods in some big chats, and they never talk to each other about who's what's where, because they don't have time. If you could flag somebody and go, this person's a potential problem, you could have 5 mods going, what are they doing now? It would be fantastic. But it makes too much sense. And YouTube can't make any money off of it, so they probably won't.
I'm messaging him again.
Y'all know about the Northern Passage?
No, what's that?
No.
What with a lot of the ice melting up at the top of the planet, these waterways are opening up that are going to basically create shipping lanes that humanity's global commerce hasn't seen in like a very long time. And like the global political economic situation could actually change quite a bit with the opening up of the so-called Northern Passage. Russia has been setting up bases along their northern shores and sending fleets out there, and they're kind of, establishing kind of a coastal perimeter up there to like start enforcing their own kinds of rules and taxing other countries that have like shipments going through their part of the North Pole. And it's like it's just kind of gnarly, because it's a whole nother facet to this global situation that we're looking at. Like, I don't want to say, WW3 or anything, but like, you know, I don't want to be that much of a cynic, but like, it's just it's looking like global economic and military power could really shift a lot just because these lanes are going to be opening up in the far north, and it's going to create a lot of really kind of cool economic opportunity, but at the same time it's going to create a lot of political tension too, and yeah, shit. I'm sorry, it's just so damn quiet. I figure might as well talk about politics. I don't know, let's talk pop culture. Well, what? Let's talk about some pop culture, please. Something less serious.
Okay.
Do any of you follow Star Wars Theory?
I don't. I've heard of him, and I
do, but I haven't been watching.
I heard about. I mean,
it.
the last I heard was Pablo Hidalgo's attack. So
Right, that dick. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a polite word, actually.
Yeah.
Too polite. No, but he just interviewed apparently the guy that not only came up with the design of the lightsabers and stuff, but he also directed a bunch of some of the movies, including like the last 10 minutes of Return of the Jedi, when the rebels are celebrating with the Ewoks in the Ewok village.
Yep.
And depending on which version of the movie you're watching, it's playing either the new song or the old song, and still banging on those stormtrooper helmets though. That's cool. Using those things as bongos or whatever. That's funny. But anyway, that whole scene and a bunch of the other Ewok stuff with like Warwick Davis and stuff, like
Yep.
a lot of that was directed by this dude that Theory interviewed tonight, and it was just really interesting getting this perspective on the making of that. You know, I'd never heard before. That was pretty rad.
Yeah.
He directed the pod racing scene from Phantom Menace 2. So, you know, it looks like Theory's doing really well for himself. You know, he's been talking to some big people lately. Tremendous people.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Mr. CZ said he's trying to get back online now.
Oh, cool, good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully it works. Hold on to your butts.
Sam.
Yeah.
Good old Sam Jackson. That's a bad motherfucker.
I wanted to put Dennis's into a program I was working on. I said, if the users do something stupid enough, we should post that up. We should pop that up in a dialogue.
We need a GIF of the T-1000 waving his finger. You know, when he's like, and he waves his finger at
yeah. Yes.
And then he like slips through the bars.
Yes.
Oh man, that's such a great scene. That's probably my favorite scene from Terminator 2 is like when he comes out of the elevator and Sarah Connor is like completely having the worst panic attack ever, thinking like, oh no, it's back. I'm gonna die. And then he's, come with me if you want to live.
Right.
But anyway, we need a GIF of that wagging finger because it's like, that's the ultimate scold.
Yep. It is. That would make another good Easter egg. That'd be a great one.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine, clicking the wrong button on a computer program you're working on and having that show up on the screen and wave its finger at you and go, no, that was not a good idea or something? It was like, oh, I am a computer.
You click into the System 32 files on your computer.
Yeah.
And it's like just, it waves its finger at you like,
Yeah. It's like, I am a computer nerd, damn it.
Yeah. God, there's dust. Dust in my piece laptop.
So I want to run something by you guys. Is that
All
okay?
right.
Okay.
It's kind of random.
Sure.
Kind of random. So I heard about like a few years ago, this guy was writing an article about his experience introducing his son to Star Wars. And he had this theory that the perfect order in which to watch Star Wars is Episode 4, Episode 5, and then the prequels, and then Episode 6. The reason being, because in 5, you learn who Vader really is, and so you go back and you watch the prequels, and so you learn how Luke's dad becomes Vader, and then after learning about the background to Vader, you wrap the whole saga up with Return of the Jedi and Vader's redemption. If I ever have children, that is absolutely the way that I'm gonna show them, because like story wise, that seems to be like the best way to like get the ultimate kind of plot climax out of it. What do you guys think?
I think it's not a bad idea because having seen the original 3 movies in the theater and then not having seen them for a long time until I saw Lucas's edits, which I didn't like. The Vader's conversion, his decision to turn against the Emperor at the very end of Episode 6 is really hard to understand. So I actually think your friend's right. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6 makes more sense because you're going to get more of a sense of how hard it was for Anakin, as immature as he was and as susceptible as he was. It was a young man when he was turned. And now that he's not a young man anymore as Darth Vader, he has an epiphany. And it does make sense. So I actually like that idea. I think, with the one exception, I really don't like the prequels, but that's different. But in terms of a storytelling arc, yes, I actually think that's a good idea.
And Star Wars is basically the best fiction that we've had since, like, in my humble opinion, probably since like Shakespeare's stuff, or maybe the Legend of King Arthur. It's like in fiction,
I can give you one. I can give you one. Lord of the Rings.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, totally. You're right about that. How could I forget Tolkien? My bad.
Yeah, I think the movies of the Lord of the Rings, for all of the things that the fans of the books, and I am a fan of the books, have complained about, I've seen a lot of adaptations of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings over the last 50 years, and nothing touches those movies.
Peter Jackson's?
Yes. They are wonderful adaptations. They're not perfect. They're not. But they amazingly follow and honor, because one thing I saw this in an interview, Jackson said, I don't believe that Tolkien was writing fiction or that he thought he was writing fiction. He was writing a mythology for the British people, because in 1066, the Normans invaded and the British people lost their mythology, and it was superseded by the Normans. Yeah. So Tolkien said, apparently in an interview once, and Jackson in his interview referenced this, said Tolkien wanted to give the British people their mythology back, or a mythology that would be uniquely theirs. And Jackson honored that and made a movie that was not fiction, it was a myth. Or made 3 movies, obviously, but it's one story. And I love the fact that Jackson honored it to the extent that he did. So, yes, I'll agree with you that there isn't much fiction that's of that quality before, but I would say, yeah, Shakespeare is one, but Tolkien is another.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. In a sense, Star Wars is almost like Tolkien in space.
Yep, to some extent, yes.
They're
both journeys.
Yeah, and they're both epics.
Yep.
Because it's like what separates an epic from something, like another great 20th century classic franchise like the Alien franchise or something like that. Like what separates stuff like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars from stuff like The Matrix or Alien franchise is that, like, it's the scale, the massive grand scale where it's like the lore not only covers like the story arcs of the characters, but the lore covers the world or the universe that the story takes place in. That's part of what makes an epic. An epic is like the world building, and it's like, I know Tolkien went to probably the most extreme lengths ever to establish his world.
Yes.
Middle Earth is like, I mean, I've never read the Silmarillion, but I know that thing is huge, and the amount of data that it has is just almost unfathomable. I mean, it's incredible the level of commitment and creativity that Tolkien had in world building for Lord of the Rings. And when I look at the way that George Lucas world built, and then all the authors that he gave permission to do additional world building, like the great Timothy Zahn and Kevin J. Anderson, Rebecca Moesta, the people that worked on the books, like the way that kind of the Star Wars team like collectively world built was just phenomenal. And which is why I'm just such a huge fan, and Star Wars is by far my favorite fiction. I mean, I respect the hell out of Lord of the Rings, and really thoroughly enjoyed watching Peter Jackson's vision of that. But just for me, Star Wars just has it all, and and relates to me on a really big level because of for one, I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, and I love space, and I want to go to space more than like anything. Even if I die up there, I would still want to go. And it's like well, actually, I hope I don't get shot in an airlock. I really don't want to get shot out in an airlock and die that way. But
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh geez. Yeah, Hal is one of my worst nightmares for.
Yeah, he's
space.
He's anybody's worst nightmare in space. My computer has gone insane.
But like
I want to throw in one thing. I think that the Matrix tried to do the world building with the whole history of the war with the machines, but they couldn't manage the scope or the scale that you were talking about that Tolkien did, because Tolkien spent a lifetime building a whole mythology, which his son Christopher turned into the Silmarillion and other things, but mostly the Silmarillion was the core of the history. And the Matrix couldn't put that in a movie. And Jackson didn't try. He just said, well, there is a history behind this. But he didn't try and show it to you any more than the Lord of the Rings tried to show it to you, because it's not in the Lord of the Rings. It's in the Silmarillion. But the Matrix tried to have that scope, but without that underlying research effort, writing, and so on, and the ability to display it, because you don't tell, you show in movies, as everybody who's involved in that business keeps telling me, show rather than tell. Jackson, Jackson could just show the Lord of the Rings, and everybody went, yeah, and we know that there's a second age and a first age to Middle Earth, or there's a first age, and the third age is coming. Whatever. Damn. But the Matrix couldn't do that, because for all the movies they made, the 3 movies they made, they couldn't even hint at that background. And that was all that exposition by Morpheus when he first introduces Neo to the training simulator.
Yeah.
And that's as close as they got to giving you the Silmarillion to back up the Lord of the Rings and the Matrix. And it wasn't enough. So I agree with you. They couldn't hack it, but I don't blame them, because God, that would have been a Snyder 4-hour movie, and we would have spent an hour in the simulator.
Yeah. And as far as even if they wanted to do a lot of world building, considering basically the entire planet is cast in perpetual darkness, and the surface is virtually uninhabitable.
Yep.
There's not much of a world to build, which means that if they wanted to go that route, they would have to use a bunch of time on screen time doing flashbacks of like what society was like before humans decided to like roast the atmosphere or whatever and like block out the sun. It's like that. Getting some lore about that would be really, really cool, but there's no way they would have been able to fit that into any of those films, because it would have just kind of detracted so much from the main story arc to spend all this time, showing what human society was like, just before the robot takeover. I mean, as cool as it would look, they couldn't just fit that into the film.
But you just proved that you are more creative than Hollywood, because that's the prequel to The Matrix that they're not making.
Huh. Dude, that's a good idea. They should do that.
They should make a prequel. Yes. How did they get there?
I saw a graphic novel. I think it was a graphic novel that kind of showed the perspective of a robot that had been on trial. I guess the way that the robot war started in the first place was that, kind of like the movie I, Robot with Will Smith, the robots in the Matrix world were programmed to like not hurt humans.
Right.
But there's this robot that accidentally killed a human, and so they put this robot on trial. And because the trial goes totally awry, and, the robot is found guilty and everything, there's like this rebellion, like a robot rebellion. All the humans are afraid of these robots that are now becoming kind of independent-willed. And so this whole fear thing is triggered, like where each side is afraid of the other. And so, they try to take each other out. And, but in this graphic novel, like, it's almost kind of steampunk. And I'm thinking, like, that would look really, really cool on screen. Having kind of like a steampunk looking kind of Matrix, where everything kind of looks like really early 20th century or 19th century, but really high tech. Like this robot, for instance, is like wearing kind of your classic, like he's got a bowler hat on and like a vest and trousers and like a pocket watch and everything in his vest. Like he looks really super old school. And I guess that's when Morpheus is doing all that exposition about how the war got started in the first place. Like apparently the modern world, like the world that we're familiar with in 2000 or 99 when the movie came out, like that whole civilization, which is it New York? I forget which city where Neo is from, like when he's still plugged in. But either way, like that city is apparently like just a creation of the architect, where it's like real human civilization didn't even progress to that level before the robot war started. Like society looked like literally steampunk, and I'm thinking the Wachowski sisters should do like a super steampunk prequel. Like that sounds like it would look really cool, and if they did it right, could be really cool. And that way, maybe we actually get to see perhaps the first reincarnation, or rather the first incarnation of the One, because the architect explains to Neo that I think there were 7 incarnations before Neo. 7 incarnations.
I was going to say 5. I was going to say 5, but I'll buy 7.
Okay, you might be right about 5, but either way, there were several incarnations before Keanu, and so if there was a prequel that was like showing what steampunk human civilization was like before the war, and maybe they would be able to show us like what the first incarnation of the One looked like and how cool that would be. Like maybe they could recast Keanu, like maybe it's actually the same body that he reincarnates into, like every manifestation of the One.
Well, they wouldn't
maybe not. Maybe
they wouldn't need to do that because I mean, go back to the 50th anniversary Doctor Who special and bringing in John Hurt as the War Doctor, the original Doctor before he was, quote, the Doctor. And they brought him in as the origin of the Doctor, and then you have the 2 most recent Doctors. And I thought that worked beautifully. Now, apparently, Christopher Eccleston was supposed to have been involved, but he said, no. And so they brought John Hurt in. He
wasn't a part of it.
It is. But when you're talking about, what is the first The One look like, you don't have to use Keanu Reeves. You could do a War Doctor type thing and go, well, this is the first one. And each one has been different. And that's why the machines don't, not everybody recognizes him as the One because it's not the same person. They're all different. And so you could have a different actor and a different character as the first, the One. But I agree with you. I think that would be a better idea than trying to continue off the end of the 3 movies because they went downhill big time.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a minute. You're gonna continue a story after the least interesting, least successful movie of the franchise? Why don't you go back to the high point and do a prequel to that? That would make more sense to me.
I bet Hollywood would cast Timothy Chalamet as the first One. Just got a weird feeling. It'd probably be him. Hey, is it okay if I read a couple of chats from Mountains of Elysium?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
I got before you do that. Runs with Phantoms, Jedi Bill.
Yeah.
I've got to get up and get to a planning meeting tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna. I was hoping to say goodnight to Mr. CCDV, but it doesn't look like he's going to get his technical issues resolved before I have got to get some sleep. So I'm going to say thank you very much. And if he shows up again, if not, I'll contact him on my own. But it's been a pleasure, and it's always an honor. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Runs with Phantoms. It's been
You
a
too, just another red shirt.
wonderful conversation.
I really hope you, with that red shirt of yours, I really hope that you don't get killed off before the next episode of this stream where we can talk some more.
You know, everybody says that, and I have to mention that I work in engineering, not in security. So I don't go on away teams. I work.
Well,
for
let's hope there aren't
Scotty.
any reactor leaks in the warp core.
Well, that is a risk, but we're very, very conscientious about that down in the engine room. So no, I'm not at the same level of risk as all of the other red shirts, especially the red shirts from security. They seem to be the ones who are at the highest risk. But
thank goodness.
Yeah. But it's been a pleasure, and everybody in the chat. It was fun talking with you and chatting with you, and I am sure that I will talk with all of you later.
Have a good night.
Yep. Okay. You and I, Runs with Phantom.
It's down to us.
I
can hear some young gun in the back of my head shouting, "Hold the door! Hold the door!"
Right.
It's up to us, man.
Yeah.
So I was gonna read a couple of chats from Elysium because they were kind of relevant. It is my belief that the real world and Matrix are still part of the Matrix. The Matrix humans are not batteries, but processors, and the majority of humans are not part of the Matrix but use them. The original idea was to say processors, but the Wachowskis were told by executives no one could understand humans as processors, but humans as batteries is more believable. I also think that there are multiple Matrix worlds operating at any one time, so the one can be in form in any of them. Well, that would certainly make the world a lot bigger. I like that idea. The real world being part of the Matrix, is that referring? I mean, you're referring to like the machine surface, right? So like, oh, you know what? That's interesting because that could actually explain why when Trinity and Neo are flying the ship towards the machine capital and the turrets all start firing out those little sentinel bombs and stuff, like Neo kind of reaches out with the force or whatever and starts detonating all of them. Like, I remember thinking that makes no sense at all because this is supposed to be the real world. So what if the whole thing really, what if it's like an onion with all these layers and really like the machine covered surface of the planet was just another layer above the simulation that Neo, Morpheus, Trinity, and company were in.
Right.
Like, that would be a real trip, and it would explain well why Neo was able to, like, reach out. You know, it's like, I know that that in the third movie, Neo's sacrifice is supposed to, like, mimic the sacrifice of the Christ and everything. And so, like, I guess it was supposed to be seen as maybe some kind of miracle that Neo was able to detonate all those bombs in the real world. Or, like, how he was able to see... like, I remember when he got his vision in the real world, and instead of seeing everything in those green symbols and numbers and stuff, like he saw everything in gold, like everything was like gold colored that he saw after he went blind, and he was able to see Agent Smith like possessing the body of that other guy. I was like, okay, so how does he have this vision? You know, I mean, what kind of superpowers does Neo have that isn't granted to him through the ability to control the Matrix? Because obviously he's outside the Matrix now. So let's see. Elysium says yes. It was why Neo was able to take down Sentinels in the real world. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So clearly that seems to be a logical explanation. I'd like to get the Wachowski sisters' perspective on that.
I know another guy who might have a few words about it. Mr. LDG Pixels, Geeks Enjoy Erotica. If he were listening, but obviously he's not, he'd be chatting it up since we're talking about the Matrix. And he's not here, unfortunately. I just don't know.
You want to talk about the Muppets, dude?
No, Muppet lives matter. They do.
Yeah. Is Animal your favorite Muppet?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. Woman.
Wham-man. I used to be a drummer until I broke my wrist and could drum no longer. But before that, I was a drummer from 5th grade up through a couple of years of college, and the first time I ever wanted to pick up a pair of drumsticks and go to town was after seeing Animal. You know, because I was raised on like Muppets and Sesame Street, and you know that Jim Henson stuff means. Wait, Jim Henson. He was involved in the Muppets, but also Sesame Street, right? Am I wrong about that? Okay, so like his stuff was great, and you know I also really growing up had an appreciation for the Muppetry, and in the Mr. Rogers show when he would go to oh golly, what was that place called? Imagination Land or something. And it's like just, you know, the puppets were great. And Animal, I just totally vibed with Animal. Because I kind of was an animal when I was a kid. I'm not going to reveal my real name here, but like when I was a kid, my family and friends of family would always call me my name -monster. And, you know, so I was kind of a little wild thing. And so Animal was kind of like my spirit animal, kind of, at a very early age. And I was inspired to pick up a pair of drumsticks primarily because of him. So,
cool.
You know, I also love Beaker. Beaker's probably my second favorite. He's hilarious. Yeah. Swedish Chef is great. I love the Swedish Chef. Wait, hold on. Is he Muppets or Sesame Street?
No, he's the Muppets. He's the Muppets.
Okay.
Mr. CCD has an avatar of him.
He what?
Mr. CCD has an avatar of him where he's the chef.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mr. CC needs to post more cooking videos. That's a really long P, Mr. CC. I know you're trying to get back, but I messaged him in like 20 minutes ago, and I'm back from him. I hope you didn't pass out.
I'm starting a new job at Amazon on Sunday.
Congratulations. And
Thanks. I hope it's worth congratulating over.
yeah.
I mean, I've heard some good things about working there, and I've heard some other things. But I needed more reliable work, and Amazon has been kicking ass throughout this entire demic, and I just it didn't sound like a bad idea, and yeah, so Sunday I have that to look forward to.
Cool.
I want to learn how to fly. Do you know how to fly?
No. In the 5th grade, I did was learning how to play the saxophone and was playing the saxophone. I wish I would have kept that up.
Oh, you think I should
love
play?
the
I should fly
saxophone.
like flying airplanes, but playing instruments is cool too. So you played some sax?
Yeah. Play the
Nice.
saxophone. It was very short-lived though, but I wish I would have kept it up. And I still want to learn how to play guitar. So
nice. Do you know? Can you play the solo from that Jerry Rafferty song, Baker Street?
No, I can't. But I would love to if I were to find somehow to learn again. Or should I have to get myself a saxophone? I love the sound of the saxophone.
It's pretty great.
Jazz is good. Yeah.
What do you think of jazz funk fusion, or what I like to call junk?
I'd probably like it. I'd have to hear some.
So do you listen to any Thundercat?
I have no idea who they are. Sorry.
Okay. Well, he's a bassist, a bass aficionado, and he does a lot of funk jazz with sprinkled with a little bit of electronic. But boy, is that funky jazz groovy.
Mountain Deletion says, imagine Nero gang on scams, Sesame Street, Oscar running distribution, snuffleupagus, being a man buyer of project. What was it?
Main buyer of the product.
Yeah.
Bert and Ernie as Sicarios. Oh, Sicarios.
Big word being boss. Yeah.
Yeah. I would pay to see that actually.
Yeah.
I would pay good money to see that.
That would make for some good entertainment for sure.
What do you think a rated R Star Wars would look like, and who would direct it?
Well, I would direct it, and it would be fucking awesome. That's all I can say. It would be fucking awesome. It would get my people 48 and older saying, "Yeah, that's Star Wars,"
So, what would be? Would you use an original story, or would you try to work with some already established lore, like how would you feel about like a rated R Darth Revan trilogy? Like a rated R KOTOR?
That would be cool, but any original would be new and something new that's not old canon. Yeah, the one that they threw out and everything. But anything new or anything to make Star Wars like kick ass and say, yes, 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 this is where Star Wars needs to be. Yes. Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody that does really serious tone movies that I'd want to see helming a rated R Star Wars project. Like, what do you think about Ridley Scott doing Darth Bane and the Rule of Two or something like that?
Those would be pretty interesting, pretty cool.
Well, since you said that you would make a good rated R Star Wars film, I want to hear what your idea would be. Where would you start?
I don't know. I'd probably go back before the original Star Wars and try to see what I really like in depth with the Jedi and the Knights and of course the Sith. I would go back couple thousand years.
Like Old Republic stuff?
Yeah, definitely Old Republic stuff. And
what about going as far back as like the Rakatan Infinite Empire from Knights of the Old Republic 1? They existed like 20,000 years before the Republic. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
kind of like
the
first dark side users, I think.
I would like to do something like that. And I would also want to do with more of the spaceships and with dogfighting, with like the X-wing and.
Oh yeah, give us some more
that,
like
more space
more of that
battles,
World War II kind of
battles, like Battlefront, like everywhere on like multiple systems. That would just be freaking kick ass and bad.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Show us battles from like every environment, like jungle battles being fought on Kashyyyk, desert battles being fought on Tatooine, snow battles being fought on Hoth. I mean, I know I'm kind of not being original here using all these other planets from the other movies, but like still I got a huge kick out of Rogue One where they were doing that battle on those tropical islands. That was really cool because I'd never seen tropical anything in Star Wars before. Actually, I guess the closest thing would have been Dagobah, but that was a lot more like swampy than tropical. I thought that the tropical environment of Scarif was totally rad, and the way that they conducted that battle was totally rad. And I want to see a battle that takes place over a huge swath of area in multiple environments. Like you were saying, just kind of jumping around from planet to planet, like actually showing not only a particular battle involving like your main characters from your story arc, but like, show us an actual war. Show us a campaign where, a planet gets conquered and they move on to the next planet, or they lose a planet and have to retreat to the last planet they conquered. And it's like, where it's like watching kind of almost like a game of Risk played in space. and, you know, watching them lose territory and gain territory and, you know, get the upper hand because they made some deal with some planet that didn't pick a side yet. And, you know, just like all the different aspects of what it really is to like conduct a war. We need to see some of that on screen in Star Wars. Like I said, like I think the best taste of that we got was Rogue One. I think that Rogue One had the best space battle, and I think it had the best, like, that beach battle was awesome. It felt like
Yeah, it
Normandy.
was. Yeah.
You know, it basically was going along, you know, the same lines as, like, you know, George Lucas with the original trilogy was modeling the space battles after, like, World War II dogfights, right? And so for the Battle of Scarif in Rogue One, it felt like they were storming the beaches at Normandy. And we need more of that in Star Wars, because really Star Wars is about conflict. You know, it's like, yes, there's the politics, yes, there's the Force, and, you know, even a smattering of romance here and there and everything. But, like, ultimately, the whole point of Star Wars is conflict. Conflict between light and dark, conflict between fascism and freedom, or should I say, like, authoritarianism and freedom. And it's you know, it's a grand epic stage on which like the ultimate expression of human existence is playing out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that needs to be done proper justice. I mean, if the whole thing is revolving around conflict and war, then we need to see some legitimate war. I want to see stormtroopers and rebels walking around the beaches, picking up their limbs and their intestines. Like, because
Yeah.
that is war, right? That is the reality of
Yep.
war. I want to see blood spatter. You know, I mean, I know that that's gory, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
rated R movies exist for a reason. You know, we don't watch Terminator or Alien and think like, "Oh no, this is too much. This is too gory." Ugh. You know, it's like some of us dig, you know, when shit gets dark, when shit gets gory. It's like we because that's a whole nother facet of the human experience. You know, the suffering and the gore is part of the human experience, and, you know, and warfare is gore. Warfare is brutality. And, you know, it would provide such an intense contrast to see, like, ultra peaceful, centered Jedi cutting down their opponents, uh, you know, while rebels are blowing stormtroopers to pieces. I mean,
Right.
it's such a stark contrast. And that's one of the things that I like about good storytelling, is if you can provide contrast.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you know, I don't think that any fiction should fully rely on stuff like shock value, but I appreciate a smattering of shock value, you know? And so it's like seeing a Jedi slice the arm off a stormtrooper, and, like, you know, that, and watching the calm serenity on the Jedi's face, you know, while hearing the blood curdling, agonizing screams of the stormtrooper. I mean, it's like that. That would speak to the fact that the Jedi are, in a sense, so, I don't want to say hypocritical, but they almost got that Orwellian doublethink going.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, on the one sense, they're pacifists, but at the same time, like, look at what they do. Like, they can tear people apart, force crush people, hurl them into objects or hurl objects at them, and cut them to pieces with their lightsabers. And it's like, like they're supposed to be serene in all of this. And yet, when they're fighting on behalf of good, on behalf of the well-being of the people they're sworn to protect, I mean, the warfare is just brutal, and just that contrast, it's so stark. I know I'm sounding repetitive here, but it's just I really get into like, I love philosophy, and comparing the philosophies of the Sith Code to the Jedi Code, and getting into all the nitty-gritty about the failures of the Jedi Council, like, all that stuff just totally, that's right up my alley. And, I mean, considering your moniker is Jedi Bill 797, I assume you can relate, right?
Yep.
Good night, shithead. Is that you trying to suggest to me that it's time
No.
to shut this down?
No. But I think it's getting to the point. I still got 11 o'clock appointment to see my doctor, because when I went yesterday, they'd say, "Oh, we needed to cancel," and left a message, which I never got. So I don't think Mr. Seaweed's gonna make it back.
Yeah, it's not looking like it. We tried. We held it down for a while.
Yeah, we did.
This is literally only the third stream that I've ever participated in.
Oh.
So, like, when the other guys left the stream, I'm like, oh boy, okay, so my inexperienced ass is gonna have to improvise here. Thank goodness
I've been
had you.
at it for almost a year now.
Well, look who's back. There we go.
Anniversary is on Saturday, May 8th. Oh. I'm gonna do a big stream there. I normally do the night. Oh, hey!
So
Welcome back.
I assume you guys know it took me this long to figure out how to actually make my internet work again.
Hey.
For some reason, I can't hear you guys though.
You can't hear us? You can't hear me?
Test.
It may be.
Test. Still having trouble.
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I can hear you now. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh.
I've never used a hotspot before.
Oh.
Right? And so I went out and bought a hotspot when I got this RV spot for myself. Right? 12 hours at my mom's house is plenty enough for anyone, ever. Right? And then lifting her up out of the bed, getting her into the wheelchair, getting her onto the toilet, getting her into the bathtub, getting her out of the bathtub, getting her into the wheelchair, all that stuff. It's exhausting, man. It is totally exhausting. I am so damn tired right now. But I figured, I'd come on and bitch a little bit, seeing how I'm drunk, I figure if I'm a little bit drunk, I can get away with being kind of an asshole. So
I think you were gone a little over an hour.
Yeah, that was my entire mistake is trying to learn how to use the jetpack for my computer while doing a live stream.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. So what happened, man? I thought you were doing the soup.
I am. I just didn't do it one last night
Okay.
or tonight.
Well, no worries.
Because it was so slow the night before, and I was like, yeah. It was, plus, I was working on. I was doing other things, and I totally spaced it out. Totally spaced it
Okay.
out.
What
So,
date is that? The May 5th, right?
May 8th, Saturday, May the 8th.
Saturday, May the 8th.
Yeah, in
is
about 4 weeks.
1 year anniversary on YouTube.
Yes.
Huzzah!
Yes.
He wants a new computer, so he's going to do a hot sauce challenge.
Oh, the hots. Yeah, the I'm gonna do the roulette, and I got the little nitro, the hottest gummy in the world, 9,000 Scoville, whatever, or 9 million, whatever.
And I do have to let you know that the amount of pictures of little boys wearing diapers on his computer is what's taking up most of the problem.
What?
Yeah, what?
What? What?
Little boys wearing
Como?
diapers on your computer is what's making most of the problems. I'm not sure a new computer is going to help you. However,
Huh? What are you talking about, man?
I think CCDV's been drinking his whiskey out of diapers or something.
I'm joking. Come on, guys. Seriously.
Oh, we know, but it's like,
I know that was kind of out of left field, right?
yeah.
No,
I would have expected
I don't believe that you have child pornography on your computer, Jedi Bill. I just believe that it's 10 years old and needs to be replaced. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with doing a 1 year anniversary hot sauce challenge and get your computer replaced, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
and I plan on eating bugs. I'm gonna eat some edible bugs.
That is gross. But okay, yeah.
Whatever works, you know.
Right on for you.
A lot of craziness.
Imagine a narco gang on Sesame Street. Oscar running distribution. Snuffleupagus being the main buyer of the product. Bert and Ernie as Sicarios.
Sicarios or assassins.
Oh, okay. Big Bird being boss, Counting being the money man. Okay. What were
Yeah, I
you
brought up
guys
Muppets
talking
earlier
about before
because
I came
for a
back
while.
on?
Sorry.
I had
What were you guys talking about before I came back on?
Star Wars. Star Wars.
No, I'm sorry. No, Big Bird was never in Star Wars.
No. I had the Muppets up, so we were also talking about the Muppets. I had Animal, and then I had the old guys saying goodnight, Shad, because I was getting ready to end the stream.
Statler and Waldorf.
Uh,
Right on. And Nina Green has joined us. Hello, Nina Green.
Yeah, Nina was here earlier. She'd been waiting.
I tried to put the link in the
what?
stream, but that didn't work out.
I'm just gonna put the link in there because I don't give a
Well,
shit.
I could have done it, but there's nothing I could. Even if I did linked it, there's nothing I could have done because we don't have co-host controls yet.
I know, right? That's crazy, isn't
If
it?
I had Coke Coaster Coast, then I could do I could highlight comments and do everything.
Dude, that's what I've been saying for a year. Holy shit, they even took mine down. YouTube sucks these days, man. I am the host and I can't put that shit out there now. That's crazy. Wait, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. I should be allowed to invite anyone I want into StreamYard for this. Okay, there you go. I don't know why they took down my first comment with the StreamYard link in it. It makes no sense.
What does these days?
Ah, yeah, that's a good question. What does these days?
Hey, Robert Pearson, what's going on, man?
And hello, Nina. Hello,
Hello.
Nina.
Greetings, Nina.
Hello.
He's been trying to fix his internet for like an hour and 15, was it an hour and 15 minutes or something?
Hey, I finally got it fixed, didn't I?
Yeah.
What was
No,
wrong with it?
No, it was just a really long pee.
I really did not expect that the jetpack would. I don't know. I don't think it was the jetpack. I think it was my computer not recognizing the jetpack.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't matter. Either way, I got back online. I still have no idea how I did it. I just kept pressing buttons until I showed my face on TV.
Oh. Well, it worked.
What can you say?
What did I title this stream as? Super Drunk Night with CCDV.
Yeah.
I think it was Suppe. Suppe. Sup. So I was like, okay, so it's like drunk. He's like zap. You know, like that old
yeah.
Zap.
Sup drunk with CCDV. Sup drunk. Sup drunk. Seriously, yeah, I'm unfortunately sobering up now because I'm only drinking beer.
Oh.
I don't have any whiskey or wine.
Mm.
So beer. I'm sobering up now. That's sad. Somebody needs to bring me some wine. That's what it is. And then we can be sup drunk with CCDV.
Yeah, we can't do it.
You're about
We're
5 hours away from me, so I can't bring you nothing.
And 2 hours away from Nina and I.
Yep.
That's all right.
We can bring
And
them
there's-
something in
Yeah,
about
well-
3 hours.
No, because you can't go anywhere to buy it until like 8 or 9
6
a.m.
o'clock in the morning. Not
We're
that I
living-
know specifically 6 o'clock in the morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning on Sundays because we're technically a dry state, ironically. But yeah, 8 o'clock on Sundays, 6 o'clock everywhere else. Not that I drink enough to actually know all those details about our wonderful state of Arizona. However, here we are. I are drunk. How are you guys doing? And Robert Pearson is here. Hello, Robert Pearson.
His name was Robert Pearson.
My favorite Irishman. My favorite Irishman. Thank you for being here. And who else do we have? Wookie in Exile. I'm sure he got tired of me trying to figure out how to fix my internet. uh, runs with Phantoms was here and is
He's
out.
still here.
Oh, he's still here. Right on.
Yes.
And the Random Menace. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Robert Pearson from the UK is in the chat right now.
Right on. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that. During lockdown, let me highlight that real quick. During lockdown, some of our pubs have been doing takeaway and delivery alcohol. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's the way to serve your community. That's what a public house is all about.
Yeah.
If you don't have a public house that lets you walk away with packaged goods, then you're in the wrong neighborhood. And for those of you and all the trolls out there listening, in case you wanted to come up and be, a-holes, the StreamYard link is right there in the chat. You're welcome to do so.
I don't think there's any trolls.
I don't think so either. Hi, Nina. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Right on.
How are you?
Why aren't you sleeping though?
I am exhausted. I really should be asleep right now, but you know what? Once in a while, a man just gotta get out there and be a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I am out here being a man right now. And yes, when 6 o'clock rolls around in the morning, I am going to get off my ass. I'm going to take my pills and brush my teeth and then head on over to my mom's house to make sure that she takes her pills and brushes her teeth and help her get out of the bed, help her get into a wheelchair, and all that stuff. So
That's nice.
these nights when I know my mom is in bed, right? It's after 9 o'clock. I know she's in bed. She's in bed, and she's knocked out for a good 8 hours, probably. Morphine and the um, lorazepam do that to her. So when I show up there at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'll make coffee. And if the coffee beeping when it's done doesn't wake her up, I'll wake her up. I'll have her get out of bed and get in the wheelchair and get a cup of coffee, and we'll head out to the garage to have a smoke because she's still not used to the vape pen that I bought her.
How is your mom doing?
Well, I love that these streams are funny and off the rails and craziness, right?
Yeah.
So I really would prefer not to answer that question. However, if you really want a real answer, I will tell you.
No, that's fine. I think that's fine that you don't. That's fine. No.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I
We can talk about something else.
I ended my career at the Grand Canyon Railway because I couldn't do 10 hours a day for 4 days a week and have 3 days off. Well, I am now doing 12-hour days, 7 days a week with no days off. and it
No
it's
pay.
driving me insane. It is driving me insane.
I thought you had the weekends off.
No, unfortunately, Hospice of the Valley does not provide care on a long-term basis. I mean, maybe once in a while we could get someone to stay for a couple of days, but that is a rare occasion. We need to get it approved all the way through Hospice of the Valley, through their corporate offices and stuff. And so, yes, I can drive away anytime I want to, but is that the right thing to do? I don't think it is.
So you can't get anyone from Medicare to help with that.
No, and I love my brothers. I do.
I
I do. I absolutely love my brothers. But the fact that my brother, my older brother, had a stroke, and that's why I am in the situation that I'm in now.
yeah.
Um, my older, my older brother, he's only a year older than I am. He chooses not to take on this kind of responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm I feel stuck. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And it's I've agreed to be the caretaker for my brother and my mother. I've agreed to do that. I'm just angry and tired and frustrated.
Later, Mountains of Elysium.
I
He's got
understand that.
Mountains of Elysium has to go. He says, "Take care,
Dear
fellow
Brother
nerds."
of the Museum. Yeah, I'd highlight the comment, but he's going away, so get out of here, you.
I wish I could help you, but I got problems of my own,
Yeah, I know it. I know.
or else
You
I
and Bill
would.
both. Yeah. So it's no big deal. It's just, you know, nights like this when I don't feel like going to bed, even though I
Yeah.
should, because I gotta get up at what, 3 hours from now. I
Yep.
have to get up taking care of my mom and my brother, and it's frustrating. It's angry making. You know,
Yeah. I know.
so I'm irritated that I have to be a family caregiver. Uh, Not that I don't want to be a family caregiver. Obviously, uh, I chose to be this. I could have been the guy who was like, whatever. I live in Williams, so fuck off.
Believe me, I know what you're going through. I
I
had to
could have
take
been
care
this
of my
guy.
mom.
I could have been, but I can't. I can't leave my brother and my mother and my brother alone. I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
I know.
I love them so much, which is why it's so frustrating when we get into arguments, you know?
I know
Um,
you,
like
hon.
today, we were on the phone with my brother's um, new social worker, right?
Yeah.
And I asked her, I asked her about guardianship and conservatorship, and she said, yes, you need to do that now. And I
Yeah.
went, what? But there was no equivocation. There was no pause. There was no, like, well, maybe I should be more uh, friendly about this. No, she literally said, "Yes, you need to be his guardian. Yes, you need to be his conservator." She literally said that on the phone, like, "Hey, do you think I should be this?" Yes. Do you think I should be this? Yes. There, there was
Yeah.
no pause. There was no equivocation. There was no thinking. There was nothing going on other than, you know, I asked the question and she said yes. And then
Yeah.
my mother, of course, I love my mother, but she said, I don't know if you should. Because it's
Well,
going to make him mad.
mm,
Like my brother, look, my brother is 8 years older than I am. And he was in the Marine Corps, and he was a NASA certified soldering uh, technician. I mean, the guy, the guy's been brilliant his entire life, and now he's a 12-year-old boy.
yeah, it's a shame.
So what do I do? What do I do? Do I say, let him continue to be a 12-year-old boy and hope he doesn't get into an accident? Because he is driving his car. I'm not legally allowed to take away his keys and driver's license. He is driving his car.
He's
I'm not,
driving the car the way he is.
yes. And I'm not legally allowed to take away his keys or his wallet or anything. I'm not legally allowed to until I become his guardian.
Well, you need to start that right away.
I
You
know.
know,
I know. You're absolutely right, Nina. I do need to start that right away.
yeah, that's what Nora did with Mama. She's
But
her.
I
Oh,
the problem with my mom is that her health is tied to her oxygen level in her blood. And so she's still smart. She's still brilliant. She's still clear-minded.
yeah.
And every time I bring it up, she says, "Oh no, let's just wait."
Well,
Well, I am driving a car that is underinsured right now
mm,
because my brother cannot pay his bills.
oh no.
He does not know how to pay his bills.
Mm,
So, what do I do? My mom says, don't do it. And I say, I need to do it.
yes, you do. I understand she's your mom, but mom's not always right. You know that, right?
I do
I
know
know
that,
you
yeah.
want her to be, but
I
it's
do.
so,
I do want my mom to be right all the time. And
yeah.
unfortunately, and I'll tell the story from this morning because it's relevant. I uh, I got new tires on my car this morning. Now I did stop by the house and I made sure that she took her medication, and then I left the house. And when I came back, she was sitting on the floor, literally sitting on the floor because she thought that she could walk out to the garage and have a cigarette, and she fell down.
Oh no.
She did not hurt herself. She
Well,
did not. There may be a bruise on her thigh or butt cheek or something like that. Next time, um, her uh, uh, caregiver comes out to give her a shower, she may have a bruise on her thigh or her buttocks or even her side. I don't
yeah,
really know. I don't know how she fell. I found her sitting up in the garage without the walker, without the wheelchair, without the anything. And so I was very, very angry. I was very angry when I saw her um, on the ground. I was very angry about that.
yeah, I understand that.
And so, what else am I supposed to do? I can't yell at her, can I?
No,
So, I went and got the wheelchair and I picked her up and I put her in the wheelchair and made sure she was on her oxygen and took her back into her room. There's nothing else I can do.
that's right. That's correct.
But I was so angry when I saw her just sitting on the ground. And I honestly don't know how long she was there. She swears up and down it was only 5 or 10 minutes, but it
Um,
it could have been half an hour for all I know.
you can't be mad at him. I know you want to. I understand that, Whitney.
I know why she wants to be able to walk. I know why she wants to be free. I
Yeah,
understand it all. I do. I really
yeah,
do.
yeah,
If there's any one person in the world who understands why and how she wants to be, it is
yeah,
me. I totally understand.
yeah,
It's not like I can, run a marathon anymore. I can't do triathlons anymore. Um, so I totally understand why she wants to be able to go into the kitchen and
yeah,
clean the dirty dishes. I totally understand why she wants to be able to clean the bathroom. I totally understand why she wants to be able to walk out into the garage to have a cigarette. I get it. I get it all. I
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
But she
I
can't
know
do
you
it.
do.
She cannot do it anymore. So I have to
No,
do it for her. And
yes,
that is my frustration at this point is just
yeah, yeah.
uh,
And I'm so sorry. I wish I could help. I would. It would help you if you needed it. You know that, right?
yeah, and I really appreciate that. I really do. I you have no idea. The the biggest problem I think is with my brother because he he may be coming to realize that it is not my mom is not faking it, you know?
Yeah,
Like for a couple of years now he thought that mom was just being, you know, um, sarcastic or just making the symptoms worse in order to get sympathy or something like that. And I think over the last couple of months, he's realized that she's she's not doing that. She is literally in the last stages,
Yes.
and I don't think he wants to come to grips with that.
Yeah. Well, with my mom, it was totally different. My mom wanted to go, but she wasn't quite ready, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
but she did. She wanted to go. It was like,
And that's where my mom is right now. She wants to go. She knows she needs to go. She also understands that there's probably a reason for her to still be on this earth. I don't know. Maybe it may be my older brother who is not willing to take responsibility for any of this. It may be for his wife. I don't honestly know.
yeah,
But for some reason, she is still on this earth. And I mean, I make a joke out of it, but she's 2 years past her expiration date.
yeah,
And so I I laugh when I say that, and I intend that to be funny, and I hope that other people understand that I intend that to be funny. But you know, she really is. She was given 3 to 5 years to live when she was diagnosed with the pulmonary artery um, artery hypertension.
huh,
She was given 3 to 5 years, and it's been 7 years. So she really is. She's 2 years past her expiration date, and so I make that joke uh, with her, but
yeah,
she really is in the final stages now. She really is. I mean, we've got her oxygen machines up to 17 liters per hour, and her blood ox is like 81 to 84.
hmm,
With those machines so high, um, her blood ox should be in the 90s, but it's
yeah,
not. And so she has permanent purple lips. She has permanent purple fingertips. She has permanent ashy um, feet and ankles. So I know what's coming. She knows what's coming. It
yeah.
does not make it better for any of us.
No, no, it doesn't. Ow.
Oh,
Mm.
I really brought this down. I'm sorry, guys. I,
Oh, that's all right. I understand, believe me.
but with my brother, it's a different kind of the same. Um,
Yeah.
he is probably going to live for another 20 or so years,
Oh my gosh.
but after his stroke,
Yeah.
he is the best way to to describe it is a 12-year-old boy with some of the memories of a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
And that's really the best way I can describe it because he can't read anymore. He doesn't remember left from right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that kind of thing. Now, ironically, he can drive.
Yeah. That is.
He knows where he's going. He knows how to get there. He knows how to get home from wherever he drives. It's ironic to me, but yeah, he's capable of doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But he'll set his keys down on the coffee table, walk away for a minute, and come back and go, "Where are my keys?"
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, they're right there on the coffee table, right where you put them.
Yep.
And so I got to deal with that. And, you know, the house is in his name, the utilities is in his name. So, how do we pay the bills now that he's home and he is not willing to ask for help?
Don't know, but I gotta get some sleep. I get out at 11 o'clock.
All right.
I,
Hey, no worries, everybody. Thank you for being with me tonight. I'm sorry it took me so long to figure out how to get my internet connection working,
oh, that's okay. No problem.
but I really do appreciate everybody being here. I really do.
Yeah.
And I will see you guys on later streams. Again, I am going to be spotty at best. Is probably the best way to put it. I don't know when I will be able to live stream. I don't know when I will be able to join other people's live streams.
Right.
So I'm going to, take care of my family and, hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, anytime you want to talk, you can call me.
Thank you, Nina. I appreciate that.
I know. Um,
All right, folks, we're going to end this now. Captain Trek should be online anytime soon.
Couple hours, yeah.
yeah.
An hour,
Uh,
a little less than an hour, but yeah.
we will see you guys then. Well, not me, but because I need to actually get a couple hours of sleep. So I will see y'all later. All right.
Oh.